It's showtime.
Woo!
How you doing, Mr. Kyle?
Doing fine, Dom. And how are you?
Yeah, good. I tell you what, though, you might be ready and I might be ready, but we're not as ready as Miss Hughes.
Oh
Miss Hughes,
ho!
Miss Hughes was in there early doors. She was in there early doors, just telling us that she was ready. So that's good news. Nice to see you, Miss
Excellent.
Hughes and class. What are we here for today, Carl?
Important day, important exercise because we're remembering something. We're doing Remembrance Day, Dom.
We are, we are indeed, and it's a serious day. It's got a lot of serious points to it, a lot of weight and a lot of gravitas to it. But we'll be injecting some creativity into it as well, and hopefully you're going to have a good time remembering those important things. So, if you do have comments like Miss Hughes, then do stick them in the chat. We do love to see them. We love to respond. We love to put them on the screen. So if you can do that, that's great. But let's go through the house rules quickly. What's house rule number one, Kyle?
House roll or rule, if you will, is that remember that you can pause this video at any moment and you won't lose anything.
That's true. Why would they want to pause?
Well, we try to keep the pace very easy to follow along with. But of course, everyone's going to move at different speeds. Things are going to get in the way. Maybe sometimes things aren't loading, whatever it happens to be. Don't worry. You can pause, work at your own pace. And when you're ready to move to the next step, you can hit play again. That's totally fine.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Now, Carl's going to be doing the browser experience, so laptop, desktop, Chromebook. I'll be doing the iPad experience because they are very similar today. We didn't need to do two different sessions. So we'll be going back and forth. So when we go back and forth, that's a good chance for you to catch up on whatever device that you're using. Okay. Roll number two.
Well, we like to give away cool stuff.
Yeah,
so
we do.
You could get some swag if you make sure and let us know that you've completed the project.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have two challenges today. Let us know if you finish them both. Pester your teacher mercilessly until she responds to my email or he responds to my email saying, do you want free swag for people who've completed their challenges? So there you go.
And I will say, Dom, I'm sorry to interject, but I will also say it was a delight yesterday to see that some folks were also sharing the work online. That really was great because we can then say, oh, look, we can see this, what the students have made, what all of you out there have created. And it's just so cool to see all that work.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
There were loads yesterday.
Yeah.
There were loads. It was unusual to get so many. I was really pleased with that. Yeah, but Carl's right. If you want to share them online, that would be great to see as well. And rule number three, what happens if they go and share their silky skills with other people?
Then you get what we call the premium, extra special, fancy, shiny, glittering swag, Dom.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. How can I tell him that he's wrong when he's not? Right. Let's get this up here. This is a little snapshot of what we're going to do today. Right. I did send out this link really late, so I apologize first. Let me apologize first. I completely forgot to do it, but it's in your teacher's inbox now. The long link is there to get this page. If you can't get the long link, use the short link, which you can see on screen, which is bit.ly/express poppy. But also you can use the QR code where you take your laptop, no, you're not your laptop, take your iPad, hold up to the screen, and then with the camera app, and then just tap the yellow box that appears. Right, challenge number one. Carl's going to talk us through it because he made it up all by himself. What's it about?
Yeah, well, Dom, I am an illustrator by trade. I'm an artist. And so I thought what would be really fun was for everybody to make their own poppy flower using a collage technique that's unique to Express. And it takes advantage of some things you maybe have never used before. So we like to show them to you. That's cropping, using the eraser tool, and some other goodies. So we're going to make a poppy flower. The significance of the poppy is explained in the website there. And we're also going to then, in the second challenge, go ahead and explain that further. So if you want to take it away with the second challenge, Dom, please be my guest.
Yeah, absolutely. So the second one's going to be a Remembrance Day website or webpage where we talk about things like the origins of Remembrance Day, 2 minute silence, the poppy, what they mean. And we're going to put those into a beautiful webpage that will going to explain Remembrance Day to whoever you'd like to share that with. So there are a couple of click me's. There's a button here. There's also a button here. It goes through to the same page. But you will have the opening of this poem, which we're probably going to put in graphic number one, in challenge number 1. And then all of this text underneath here, that is going to be for challenge number 2 for you to build your web page. All right. Oh, have I shared this tab instead? Sorry, I didn't share that tab. It's a terrible habit I've got. But this is the page. Yeah, this is your page. Carl's meant to be keeping me honest here when I make mistakes. And then, so we've got this, we include in graphic or challenge number 1, the graphic, and then the bit underneath, that'll be for your web page as well. Okie dokie. I think we can go and just get started, I think. So
yeah, and Dom, it's the silky smooth tones of your radio-like voice that don't allow me to even notice if you're not showing the right information. I'm just lulled into a state of complete and utter astonishment.
You must obey. Yes, yeah, exactly. You must obey. Right. I tell you what I'll do, Kyle. I'm going to nick the screen. I'm going to hog the limelight for about 30 seconds because I just want to show people how to get going on the app, and then you can show us how to actually.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, because they're different. They're different.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're on the app, you'll be using the Express app. You can see it's this one down here. You can see that one. So just give that a click. You'll be opening up on this kind of screen here. Now, there's loads of different ways you can start. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go up to the top left, and you can see where it says flyers. I don't know if you can see that. Let me go back and go home here. Go home again. So bottom left. See the second one underneath start from scratch says flyers. I mean, all you're really looking for is like a vertical sort of canvas, I suppose, to put on there. It says double tap to edit the text. I'm going to tap it once, and then you can see there's a bin, a stinky bin down the bottom. Let's put it in the stinky bin. And then, you know, we're kind of ready to go now. And so when Kyle starts wowing us with his magic, we can be one step ahead. Right, Kyle, show us the browser magic.
Excelente. Okie dokie. So here we are on the homepage for Adobe Express. Now, for those of you on the Chromebooks, on the computers, wherever you're working there, we have lots of options. And Dom just said, as long as it's a vertical format, you are in good shape. I'll show you something a little different because why not? We always have this little plus sign. And I decided maybe I'd make a postcard, you know, something a little smaller. Same format, though. It's still vertical. I'll just tap on that. And look, I now have a place where I can type in what it is that I want exactly. And you'll see one of the examples here. It says try flyer. So that's what Dom's just done. Let's go ahead and do POSTC. And we have a postcard. There we go. So but the reason I bring this up is because we want to do a vertical format. And what I want to show you is how to resize the document do anytime. If you go over here to resize, it's not going to just let you change the dimensions, but it's also going to make it easy for you to simply swap the width for the height. See this? So if I take the width, which is currently 6 inches, and make it 4 inches, and then make the height 6 inches, I've just switched those two. Now I can say down here, resize. Okay, and there we go. Same thing. I just rotated it 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay. Now we're ready to start. Now remember, we're designing a poppy flower. Here's what I'm going to do to make this really simple. Poppies are red. So under the photo search here, I'm just going to type RED, red, and go. Yeah. Now look at this. I get a whole bunch of really cool results that are red. Very nice.
If you're on the iPad and you want to skip ahead, you can see a big add button down the bottom. Just click that before I show you. Go to Adobe Stock and do red, and you're with Kyle straight away.
That's it. Now, once I've got these images, I can select any one of them. Okay. Now, what I don't want is something that has a person in it, or maybe something that I could really identify easily. You know, maybe not this bell pepper, for example. But look at all these cool sort of background images with texture and lines and things like that. So I'll just go ahead and we'll use this one up here in the top left first. And it places it on my canvas.
Beautiful.
And Dom, do you want to show everybody how you get to this point?
Yeah, why not? Let's do that. I tell you what, I'm going to be, I'm probably going to be a bit sneaky as well. Watch this, everyone. You know, Carl's light years ahead. But hey, we can still hang on to his what is it? Shirt tails, coat tails. Let's do that. Right. So you press the plus down the bottom. You see the add button there. You can see add. You can see I got my finger on it. It comes up. Then go to Adobe Stock. And then here you go. You can search in the top right. I'm just going to put, oh, not a T. I'll put a red in there. Now, one of the ways in which we can get right ahead of where Carl's up to. Well, Carl chose this one in the top left here. Well done, Fancy Pants. Well, we can choose as many as we like. So I'm just going to go for like 1, 2, 3. You can see them all turning up in blue there, with the blue ticks. I'm going to just sort of put a few on there because I like to be ahead and I like to be prepared. There we go. I'll put 6 in there. I don't need them all, but just why not? So let's add 5 in. And then this is important. Choose where to add. Add as a collage? No. Move freely, please. There you go. And we're in there. That's where we're at. Okay, let's go back over to Carl to work out what we're going to do with all of these things.
Excellent.
Let's get them on there.
So Dom's gone ahead with getting a bunch of images, and that's really what we're going to want here for our poppy flower. But I'll show you what we're going to do with each of them. We're going to use the crop tool. If you've never used the crop tool, let me show you what it does. Over here, we have crop just under where it says remove dog ground. I was going to say some dog right there. Remove background with the little dog there. Remove dog ground. That's very
move dog ground. I love it. That's better.
All right, let's crop it. Now, when I hit crop, you can ignore this little top area up here. This is just showing very standard sizes for what you would crop things to. 4:6 photo, 5:7, whatever. No, what we want are these down here. This is where the good stuff is, the shapes. All right.
Where the good stuff is.
So look at this. We have Dom, here's your favorite word that I say differently, semicircle.
Yeah. Semicircle. Woo! That's what we like.
And once I tap on that, I get these 4 what are called handles. Okay, they look like a little letter L there, okay? And I can move those around, resize them. Yeah. But if I tap outside of those, okay, right here, I can move the photo itself, and I can also enlarge the photo. See that? So what I can do is make a shape with the photo, and if I then tap anywhere else on the canvas outside of these what are called bounding boxes, like here, look at what I left with here. It's this nice little semicircle, okay?
Nice.
And that is going to become the base for the poppy flower. So what we're going to do is make a bunch of shapes like this. Remember, you can rotate these, you can resize them, do all kinds of fun things. And this will become how we build the poppy flower, okay?
Cool.
Now,
let me get
the same process there, Dom, for you?
Yeah, let's get, can I get there now?
Go for it.
Yeah, cool. Do you know what? Do you know one of the things that I really like doing? Why I really like doing these live streams with Kyle is because he has such a nice way of making me feel like I'm a really good artist. I like that. He makes it so simple that I'm like, hey, he can do it. Do you know Carl's world famous, by the way? He is. And he's making me feel like I can do just the same. And I can. Watch this. So I've got my I put my images here and I've moved, some of them out of the way. So I've just got a bit of space. I'm just tapping them and moving them because I shouldn't have got so many. I just got a bit trigger happy, really. And so what I'm going to do is going to select that one in the middle. And then I'm going to go to crop down the bottom. You see that? Okay. And then I'm going to go to the semicircle right there. And then like Carl was saying, you can do like pinching and zooming and moving these things around. And I just wanted to get it where it might be like quite interesting. And you can do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I like that. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And then I click done in the bottom right. And then once you've got it, like Carl said, you can rotate and you can resize and stuff like that. And I'll stick mine about there. And then go and get some more inspiration from the artist. Let's go.
Very nice, Tom. And this is what I love about this exercise is that everybody's going to look a little slightly different. Your poppy's not going to look like my poppy, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the fun thing about it. Yeah. So now that you know the process, we just go through it and we do it again. Now you see Dom's got a bunch of images there. I'm just going to close this window here and it takes me right back to those search results. So now I can, if I want, just place a few on there. So I'll just place this guy right here. And maybe, let's see, this gal right here. Is that some of these have dark corners. Some of them have dark, this one might be a little too dark. But the ones that have dark corners, if you ever looked at a poppy flower, you know that the center of the poppy is black.
That's true.
And I could use, what's that?
That's true.
Yeah, so I could take advantage of that by using a red image that maybe has a corner in it that is darker, okay? And a lot of these, you'll notice they'll have some shadows in them. This one right here has a nice black corner right there. Just grab that. Now, each of these that I place on the canvas, you see I can then move them around, okay? And what we're going to do is we will do what we've just done before, but we're going to try different methods for cropping and use the eraser tool. So Dom, I want to show that one next because we haven't yet looked at it.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. So let's take, for example, this one right here. I'll zoom in by pinching or expanding rather with my fingers on my trackpad so you can see it more clearly. And what I'm going to do here is erase. Now, if you look over where we have the dog, remove background, generative fill, and here we have erase. Okay, now, by the way, this will be just slightly different for Dom. So once I do the erasing, we'll pop it over to him and you'll see how to do it. I'll tap on erase. Now, when I erase something in, oops, hold on a second. I'm just going to do a quick refresh because sometimes Express gets a little hung up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's saying, you're asking me to do too many things. You know, I'm not a machine. I say to it, yes, you
tired.
are. All right.
Stayed up too late last night. I'm tired.
Come on. Come on. Express has really got to get it together. So here we go. Now, when I first tap on erase, okay, this right here says brush, which is maybe a little confusing. You're not really painting, are you? But you have two different brushes to choose from for your erasing. And the first one is called quick selection. Now, if you leave it there and start erasing, that's going to do some weird stuff, like maybe erase your whole image. What you want is to tap on that little drop-down menu and select circle brush. Now we're in a good place. So here's what I'll do. I'll just, right from the corner here, just go up and then get rid of that. You are literally erasing the image. You can make the brush bigger. See this right here? I can make it really, really big. And maybe I'll just from this side go like that. Make a shape like that. So what you can do is you can make your own custom shape, but you're still going to have that cool photo information inside. All right. Yeah. Now, once I'm happy with that, I can, again, as before, resize it, move it around, do whatever I like. So I think for this, what I'll do is I'll put it down here and maybe rotate it like that. And maybe just, let's see, maybe put it somewhere like that. And then we'll come back to it later and see what we do with these other shapes. But Dom, I would love for you to show everybody how to erase on the iPad.
Yeah. Okay. So it is a bit different here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take like a shape like this one, for example, and then you can go to things like crop and shape down the bottom, and then you'll get all of these things up again. Now, it won't work in the same way for us, but that's okay because we have all of these shapes down the bottom. You can see here now. To get some interesting shapes, you can do things like you could do the heart one because, you know, Kyle was, you know, carving out a bit of his image using the eraser to get kind of a smooth line. Well, we've got a smooth line with this one. And one of the key things here is that you don't need to use all the image if you don't want to. So I'm going to press done on that one and then bring it down. And then what I can do is I can put this image underneath and maybe just rotate it a little bit, just so it kind of joins up and makes a smooth line on the left-hand side. But then in the order, I can press order and bring it right down to the bottom. That's fine. And then I can resize it as well. So we just get it kind of poking out the side. And then if I take another shape, for example, because again, you know, we don't have the same capabilities with the iPad that you do on the desktop experience, although you will around about Christmas time. Hang on to your hats. And then, yeah, I know. And then Carl won't be able to do anything that we won't be able to do. And then we'll go to crop and shape again with this one. And then if you want to like create sort of interesting angles, interesting corners, stuff like that, you could do something like the parallelogram. And when you've got that, you can stretch that out if you want to. That's fine.
Very nice.
And do whatever you need to do. I'll do it there and then bring that down. And again, you know, this can be, you can play around with the order of this as well. So I want to put it on top of kind of like the heart there, but I want it to go underneath the semicircle. So let's go to order, start playing around with this and just move the slider until it's kind of where you want it to be. And that is roughly kind of where I want it to be, I think.
And Dom, I want to show you a hack. There's a hack you can do there on the iPad, I'm pretty sure. Now, I could be wrong. It's been a while, but let me, if you have a photo, I
Yeah.
think you can try to remove the background and then it will expose the eraser tool.
Ooh,
Now,
interesting.
I'm saying this having used it on my iPhone, not
Yeah.
my iPad, so I could be wrong, but
I tell you what I'll do is I'll kick it over to you, and while you're
yeah.
doing your next bit of magic, let me have a go at that. Good
All right,
idea.
cool.
Good idea.
Well, I'm back where you left me here, and I'm going to do the same thing I was doing before, but now remember I mentioned the dark corner for the center of the poppy. You'll notice here that I do have a pretty dark corner right there, but I have an even darker one here, and I think that could be pretty handy, okay?
Right.
So, and I liked Dom's idea of using a parallelogram. I actually haven't tried that yet. So I'll go to crop, and I'll just grab that parallelogram, and then I can take this image and I can make it much, much bigger by dragging from the corners. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. And let's crop it in here like this. And from the corner, I can also, as Dom had just done, make it skinnier. And let's rotate the photo and get that dark corner right up on the left bottom area there. See that? And then what I'm going to do is rotate the whole thing. And there we are. Okay,
Nice.
now when I tap outside of it, I can grab it, turn it this way, and I can line it up like so. And now I've got a nice dark corner there. And then I can just get rid of this little bit by cropping it further. See that?
Nice.
And I'll come in and I'll use more red bits to cover it up. But what I'll do is then have that nice dark bit right there. I can even take that layer and slide it up here onto top. Now remember, Dom was using the slider at the bottom from right to left to change the order of the layers. I'm doing it over here on the right where my layer stack is. Dom, was I correct about the cropping?
You certainly were. Sorry, I'm lost. I'm having a party for one over here.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. So, yeah, I started making some crazy shapes over here. So let me show you how I did this. Right, let's delete that one. Okay, so I'm going to go to add. I'm going to go to Adobe Stock. I'm going to go to, I'm going to search for red. And then, right. So I'm looking for a shape where I can remove the background and then add some like funky edges to it. Ooh, that one's a good one. Okay, let's go there. Add one. Move freely. Always move freely. Then I'm going to make it bigger. So I've got it on my screen like that. Look at that. And then down the bottom there, third from the left, remove background. Oakley dokley. And now, do you know what? So the thing that Carl was talking about, and he's absolutely 100% right. You can see down the bottom says edit cutout. It's about fourth in from the left.
Oh, that's
edit
it.
cutout. You can see it there, right? So there, then you can choose your brush size. I guess, Carl, you tell me, it's probably better to go bigger, I would guess.
Probably you have, because you're trying to just get simple bits. You're not trying to do any really squiggly little detail-y stuff here. Just getting rid of big bits.
Well, let's go right up to the top and do something like that. And then get rid of all of this here.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we've kind of got this nice curved edge, which has also got crazy texture in there.
That is a great image.
Yeah, that was one work perfect. And then go to done. And then look at that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Blimey.
So you do have what's nice there too is you have a clean edge and then an edge that's a bit more bumpy.
Yeah.
It looks really organic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could be here all day. And then here you might go to order, bring it down until it kind of just puffs into the top there, maybe even a bit further down. Yeah, like a fluffy edge like that. I'm into that. I'm going to say done. Right. Kyle, keep us going. Keep us going.
Sure. So what you see I've done here is I'll just move this for a moment. There's that, remember that parallelogram we had that was dark?
I do.
So I put that there. And now I've covered it up with this semicircle again. And here I'm just going to do a triangle and see how that looks. And I think I'll be close to done with this poppy design. And I can resize things and move them around. But for this guy here, we'll just go ahead and crop. and we have lots of triangle options here. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which of the two I want. Do I want the equilateral triangle or do I want the right angle triangle here? Let's see.
Yeah. I think I tried a right angle triangle yesterday and it wasn't quite as good as the other one, but I think you need to try and see what you think.
You're right. Let's see. Maybe this isn't the one. Maybe if I do that,
Sharper edge. Oh,
kind of
nice.
interesting. It's a bit sharp on the edge, isn't it? Now here's the thing. If I like the way this works with my, I'm just going to refresh it again. Sorry.
That's all right.
With the other shapes that I've got, I can always take a shape like, for example, the semicircle we started with, and I can duplicate it.
Yes.
Watch this. Here it is. There's
Yes.
a little icon up here, duplicate. Yes. And I can drag that up to the top, make it a bit smaller, and then I can use that to sort of change what this shape is. You can take two shapes and combine them, do some things like that. You know, if I think that, oh, that edge isn't really what I want.
Nice.
Things like that. I can change it this way.
Yeah.
So, and the main thing is you want all of these images to just look different from one another. Each little petal, each little section. You know, I could do that. That looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with
that. I mean, just the depth on that is amazing.
And there you go.
Yeah. Let me steal the limelight again. So I did what Carl did, and I had one of my images. I deleted one of them because I had too many, and I had this last one, and I thought, well, that's an interesting texture, because the other one that I had on screen was too similar of a texture to the one before, to a couple of these on here, and this one was very different. So I made it into a triangle by using that crop and shape. I've selected the triangle, done, and then you can play around with the size of it. But then I thought I'll pop it kind of in there, a bit of a sort of sticky out edge, but then also use the slider for the order. Yeah, maybe around there. Maybe one more. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, good with that. I'm good with that. Right, Carl, where are we going next with this? Tell me where are you taking us on this fantastic journey?
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, as I'm just sort of tidying this up, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a stem and some leaves, and we're going to use the same basic process, okay? So for the stem, now this is really simple. I'm just going to go into our elements right here. And under design assets, it's the first category, elements, design assets, I'll simply type curved line.
For iPad users, you can go add and then design assets, and it'll bring up the same thing.
Oh, there you go. Now you'll see a whole bunch of results here. Okay, some of them have arrowheads, right? Lots of things. I'm looking for just a kind of simple, basic curved line. So let's see, if I just go, there's one here with an arrow. I could easily crop that out if I wanted to. Functions just like a photo. See if I can find something that's basically just a line. And, you know, I know that some of the results you're going to get will appear different on the iPad.
Yeah, it does have different results, yeah.
Yeah, even if they're the same, if you were to go through every single one, you'd eventually get to the same. They do sometimes look a little different. This is kind of interesting. It's got some personality to it. It looks like it's hand-drawn. You could try something like that. I think I'm just going to do something super basic, which is this.
Yeah.
It's just a curved line. It's not curved that much. It's got a subtle curve to it. Anything like this will do. I'm making it much, much bigger because I want it to be a little thicker. Okay. And remember that you can drag your design elements off of the canvas and they'll still be visible. So if I take this all the way down here and rotate it a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah.
The only problem is it's on top of the flower. So how do I fix that? Just grab that layer and I'm dragging it on down to the bottom. Now, the other issue is it's not green. So what do? Here's how you fix an image that is not a shape, okay? Because shapes you can color with a simple color like that. But if you have a photo or a design element like this, there's an easy way to color it. Go to Effects. And here you have this really magical thing called duotone. So if I just use custom right there, you have two things, shadows and highlights. Now, the key to making this work is, since this is all one dark area, I can just change the shadow color. And you'll notice that once I opened the duotone, this went to blue, just like the shadow.
Mm.
So I can use a custom color right here. Put a custom, and I'll just drag it on over to green, make it a bit
Yep.
darker, and boom, I am good to go. So there's my stem. Dom, how about yours?
Right, let's go. So yeah, so if you're on the browser, this is your time to catch up. Now, if you're on the iPad, very similar. Press the add, go to design assets, and here, what did you search for again? Curved line.
Curved line.
Curved line. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could search for line. You can do for anything really. So you can see the different categories of things up the top here. So all, and that'll give you everything. But you've also got trending, illustrations, brushes. What did I find trending? Yeah, didn't find too much in illustrations. Didn't really work. Brushes for me seemed the best on the iPad, I must admit. And
Look
I
at
think
that. Some of those are lovely.
yeah, this one's good. I think that one just there, and I'll add that in. It goes in there. Now, do you know what I'm going to do now before we go too far? Is I'm just gonna tap on my screen, pinch out a bit, because I must remember to make sure that I've got enough space in my graphic, because I got into a bit of trouble with this when I did this yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select something on the screen. I'm going to go down the bottom, second to the right, second from the right even, select multiple. And then I'm going to go to select all and then go to next. Now that I've got that all selected, I'm just going to bring the size down, because we're going to be putting some text on the top and on the bottom and put a border in. All right. So there's lots of things. So if you feel like you've got loads of stuff on the page and you haven't got a lot of space going on right now, well, this is probably quite a good thing to do now. And now they're a bit smaller. I'll click done. That's fine. And then I'll grab my my stem. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go to adjust. I'm going to flip it horizontally on the horizontal line, this one here, just so it faces the other way a bit.
A good trick for people to know is that flipping. Flipping is really useful.
Yeah, it is really useful, isn't it? And then I'm going to stick it underneath there. And then in terms of, Carl was doing a thing with the duotone. So here you can go to looks, and you can see the second one from the left is duotone, and then press the sliders in the middle of that, and then you can choose whatever you want. So let's go here. Now I chose the black and the green, but it's only applying the black right now. But if I do those two arrows that are going in and out of each other, then it'll flip it over. It's got the green, that's good, but that green is a bit bright. So I'm going to press the slider there and then find a green, which is a bit earthy. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and then press done again in the bottom right. And then also, before Carl tells me off, because I know what he's going to say. What are you going to say, Carl?
I don't know if you were going to tell me that we should name our projects, because that's what I'm always worried about, and I didn't do it.
Well, on the iPad, I don't have that luxury of telling you off, you see, because you don't do that on the iPad. But Carl, I know Carl was going to tell me off by doing the order. I've got to make sure that it goes. Got to make.
Oh, I can't see Dom from the size of the screen here while I'm watching you work. I can't see that it's overlapping the flower.
Oh, there you go. It goes just behind there now. And that's me pretty much done. Might want to censor it a little bit, but I'm not too fussed about that right now, because, it's organic and, life isn't always centered. And there we go. Let's go back to Mr. Carl.
I'm putting that on a t-shirt as soon as we are done with this live stream. Life isn't always centered. Dom Trainer. There we go. So now, Don brought up an important thing, which is being able to group your layers so that you can more easily move things around later on when you need to arrange things and add a bit of finesse. So look, I have all these pedals on your desktop machine. Okay, you can do this. I can simply drag a selection and it will show me everything I've grabbed.
Yeah, well easy, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice. And then once I've done that, I can go over here to group. Okay, now the whole thing is just, there we go, easy.
Yeah, very
No
nice.
worries. So I can make it a little larger. The thing is, we're going to, for our little designs here, have some type up here. We're going to use that Flanders Fields, the lines from the poem. And down here, we're going to have just a quick little note about remembrance. So we want to make sure we have room for those things. But by grouping the flower with the stem, you have a lot of ease with moving it around later if you need to. Now there's one thing I do have to do, which is I got to add a leaf or two. So we're going to use the exact same technique, exactly the same as what we did for our petals of our poppy. And in this case, instead of searching for the word red under photos here, I'm just going to search for the word green. And what you're going to see is I get are similar, nice big fields of green with texture and all kinds of things. There are even, in fact, leaves in there if you wish to use them. Here's an interesting one. I like that it's got some
really nice,
lights, right? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah,
that's a nice one. Now what I'll do is, again, use the crop tool. So we'll go to crop. And here I could use a triangle, maybe the heart, maybe the parallelogram might be nice. In fact, I think I will do the parallelogram. That's really, really a nice one.
Yeah, and for you iPad people out there, just press the add and go to Adobe Stock. That's the Adobe Stock one, and then search for green. And then you can keep pace with Kyle here.
And there we go. Now what I'll do is I'll size that down and just pop it right there. And that can be one leaf. And then I can do another one with a different shape over here on the right. So I'll make that a bit smaller. And then I'll just go back to my circles. There are so many. A lot of green goodness in here. Let's see, what do I want? I'm looking for something that'll be slightly different. Maybe a darker green like this. And for this, I'll use a semicircle. We'll go to crop. And we'll semicircle that. There we go. I like it. Now it's cropped. Let's rotate it and let's try it over there. See how that goes. Now, these are roughly the same size. So I just want to make sure that, you know, we make them slightly different.
Out, actually, yeah. I like that.
There we go.
Right. Let's
okay, so Dom.
Yeah, let's get motoring, I think, so we can get our next one in. So I just went to add, I went to Adobe Stock, I searched for green, I got a couple of images, I put them in there like you would normally do. I've selected one and made it into a triangle. You know, this is kind of repeating what Carl's doing, really. Crop and shape again on this one. I think on this one, I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? Ooh. Do you know what I'm gonna do here? Kyle, you've awoken a monster in me. I'm going to remove the background on this because it's got some white in there, and then I'm going to edit cutout. You see?
Oh,
and then, ooh! You see? I told you.
Now you're going to make your own leaf.
Yeah, I told you I like doing live streams with Kyle. He makes me feel like a pro. And then I'm going to go done. And then look at that. That's a completely custom shape.
That is that is a good idea. And then you get something that really feels unique and special and completely your own. I like that shape. It's very leaf shapy.
Leaf shapy, yeah.
The contrast between the geometry, the perfect geometry of one shape and then that more organic shape, it's really nice. And this is the whole thing. Variety is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of good design.
There you go. I'll get that on a t-shirt. Right, and then what I'm going to do also is just make sure that I'm going to need a little bit of space at the bottom, so I'm going to put my leaf up there. Right, boom, done. Right, what are we doing next?
Okay, so now this might seem strange, but what I'm going to do is search for, under elements right here, I'm going to search for torn paper, T-O-R-N, paper. Why would I do that? Because what I want to do is add an interesting ground here. And the torn paper is a cool edge that I can use. And there's so many empty ones here. This one's kind of a cardboard there. I'll grab that.
Yeah, nice.
But there's so many good choices. I'll just throw that down there at the bottom, make it larger. Okay, so there's my ground that I'm going to use. And you notice how much space I've got down there, so I can very comfortably put a little type down there.
Right.
Now I can leave it this color. It's quite nice. But if you know the story of the poppies in World War I, growing up in the fields were covered with ash and they were dark and blackened. And so I want this to be a dark ground. So what I can do is I can use my effects and use the duotone again. So let's go to duotone and I'll say custom. And look at here, look at this black. Okay, I can put black for the shadows. And most importantly, for the highlights, if I put black, look what happens.
Oh,
The whole
nice.
thing just goes kablamo. Now, if I want to keep some of that texture from the photo, okay, what do? I use a lighter color for the highlights. So if I just go to custom and under highlights, we can make it a little warmer. And then if I start to push up, see this? As I start to push up,
Oh, yeah.
that texture coming through. So I want to kind of find a good balance there. So I find a little texture, but not a lot, not too saturated. And then that's a pretty good balance right there.
Yeah, sweet. I like it. Right. Let's have a little go at that. So very similar situation. Press the add, go to design assets. And here, Carl search for torn paper. I mean, it's a really creative way to think about how you could represent like bumpy sort of soily ground, isn't it?
I think that's the essence of collage, and this kind of work is looking at something as not as the thing that it literally is, but what it could represent in a picture, and that's really fun.
So yeah, I'm gonna go for that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bring it down, stretch it out, put it in the right place. Now you can see that it's actually got a little sort of white edge on it. So when I go to something like looks and go to duotone, you'll see that there's already kind of two
that's cool.
Contrasting things on there. So just like Kyle did, I mean, I could go to that black and I go to that one there, and then maybe switch these up a little bit, see what we get. Yeah, I'm not sure I've got the same.
If you make the black, if you make the black for the highlights a little lighter,
okay,
some of that texture.
Okay, yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that sort of that works for me. I'm happy with that. We've got a little bit of a contrast going on, and I like the jagged edges on the top. That's really nice. I'll press done in the bottom right. It's not letting me press done. Come on.
Oh dear.
You can do it. But anyway, you get the picture. I'll make that work by the time you get back to me.
Well, here we are back with the crew who's working on the on their PCs, on their desktops, etc. I'm going to close this out. And what I want to do now is add type. So let's go to text. And we're just going to say add your text. Okay. Now remember that we've given you this nice resource right over here.
Yes. He's right.
In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row. I'm just going to select that and copy it. And that's, if you want to right click, you can do that, right click and copy, or you can on the keyboard hit Control C.
Yeah.
And now return back to my document here and I'll paste that in. Oh, it pasted the URL for some reason. Let me try that again. All right, here we go. Command C, Control C for those of you on a PC. And let's try that again. Double tap. And there it is. Now, what's the problem? Nice. A little too big, wouldn't you say?
A little.
Size. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
What I wanted is in 2 lines.
Yeah.
Just like that. So I've resized using the handles.
Right.
Until it's actually the right size that I want it to be. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. All right. I got to refresh one more time. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes my handles get a little funny. I know that doesn't make any sense outside of this context. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row. Lovely. This is John McCrae's poem. Now, there's another thing I like to do, which is maybe change this font.
Yeah.
We have lots and lots of fonts, over 14,000 of them, in fact. So Source Sans 3, that's a weird name for a font, but we also
They're
have
all weird.
all the other ones.
They're all weird.
Are you right, Dom? Is there ever a normal font name?
There's never a normal font name.
Here's a nice one. Now, what I'd
Nice.
like is for this to be, and we want it on 2 rows. So like I'll stretch that out. There we go until it fits.
Nice.
Make it smaller. What I'd like is for it to be maybe italicized. It means it's on a slant, right? So let's see if we have options for that here in this family. We do. Look at all of these. Wow.
Wow. Loads.
Italic. See, that just feels more poetic to me.
Yeah.
There we go.
What does the pink line mean? Tell me what the pink line meant.
Well, the great thing about that line is it's telling me you are aligning to things. So I'm either aligning to the flower, aligning to the leaf. So what you're aiming for is to align to the center of the page, which you see if I get that long pink line.
Yeah.
It says you've done it.
Very cool.
There you go.
All right. Let me get that there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is gonna go to my dock here. I'm gonna and there we go. And then copy it, and then I can go back here, go to add, go to text. I can just paste it in there. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And maybe if I put that in there, like a line break in there, and press done. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Yeah, so I got that. Like Carl said, I want that line all the way top to bottom, so I'm going to leave that there. There we go. And then I could go to recommendations. These sometimes take a long time to appear on the iPad, but actually it's done quite well.
Pretty zippy that time.
Yeah, it was pretty zippy, yeah. Let's try that one. What's that one like? Come on, you can do it. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm into that. I don't even know what it's called. It's on a need to know basis, and I don't need to know. So there you go. Right. I've got that bit. So what about you? What's the other bit you're going to put on?
I've just added this text, "We remember you," in white over the dark ground. And the way I've done that is I've taken this text here, and what I did was I duplicated it again. So by duplicating it, I could just drag it on down and line it up.
Yes.
And I also went into that same family, okay, which is right here. It says italic. And I just went for a bold version of it. Yeah. And you notice here that I did all capital letters just to make it a bit different.
Yeah, bit of gravitas.
Yeah.
Like it.
And the last thing I did, I want to point this out so people know it's a thing you can do, is with all that type, you can, right over here, under where you can change the size manually right here, there's this little icon that has 3 lines with arrows next to it. If you tap on that, you can do line spacing and letter spacing. And what I did was I increased, see that, the letter spacing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so because it was like this, which felt a little bit tight. Yeah. So I just want to give it some breathing room, and it felt a little nicer, and I left it as that.
Okay.
That was the last thing I did there. Now, to finish it all out, I think, just as a nice design element, I can add a little flourish right here under the text.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a nice thing to do. And to find flourishes, you can go again to your design assets, and you can type flourish and see what you get.
What?
Flourish. And then you get, well, not surprisingly, a bunch of flourishes.
I didn't even know that's what they were called.
Now, a lot of these flourishes come in pairs. So look at this one here, pair, okay, pair. But we know a trick now.
Yes.
I can select it, see? And I only want to use half. So what do I do?
Oh, yeah. I get you.
Here comes the crop. Now, once I get there with the crop, I'll just crop away the top bit, and look at that. Now I'm in good shape.
Very nice.
And I can take that flourish, and I can make it red. And how do we do that? Does everybody remember how to do it? FX. Duotone.
Very nice.
Go to the shadow. Make it red.
Yeah. Boom.
So that looks nice.
Nicely done. Let me get there. Okay. Right. So I duplicated this one. I went down to edit at the bottom, duplicates right in the middle there, the two boxes with the little cross in there, duplicated it to get the same style, but then actually went in and edited the text and made sure it was all capital letters. One of the things I will show you is select that piece of text. If you want to give it the breathing room that Carl was mentioning before, go to spacing right over there on the right-hand side, and then you can open that up a bit. There you go. That'll do. That's good. And then flourish. Hey, let's get flourishing. Let's go here. And I just never heard it called that. Actually, is that really like an illustration term for that?
Yeah, it's an industry term for these things, these little decorative things. Sometimes people even call them serifs, even though that's really not.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's more having to do with letter forms in type.
Yeah,
but
I'm not getting anything here, to be fair.
Try flourish.
Yeah, but it's FLOURISH. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not getting anything for that. That's odd.
Are you in the design elements or shapes?
Yeah, I'm in design assets here. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Do you know?
Isn't it strange?
What am I going to put? What could I put?
Put decorative. There's a word right there. I see decorative. That should probably pull up some interest.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Whoa, what's going on?
Very odd. It says decorative. Let's see. Yeah. Decorative.
Ew, nice.
Ooh, these are quite intense. Oh, at the top where it says elements. What if you tap on that under design assets?
Elements, yeah.
That'll get a little simpler, right? Let's see.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Somewhere now.
Yeah, I could do one of these. I've used these in a previous project. Could use one of these.
That works.
Yeah, I might have to adjust where things are on the page a little bit. And it is a little bit chunky, I suppose. But
if you make it a little smaller and take out the color, maybe if it's just like a gray, like the gray or.
Yeah, I'll go to looks. You go to the gray there.
There.
Like that. Yeah. That might work. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? But we know what you're talking about. We know how to do that.
Works for me.
Yeah. Right. What do you think?
Okay. Let's move on to the second challenge. I think people probably are enjoying the look of their poppies. Remember, everyone's will look slightly different. The leaves, the stem, the flowers, it's all going to look slightly different. So we'd love to see what you made. It'd be really cool if you share it. Now we're going to make an informational website.
Yeah, but just before I do, just going to show very quickly, top right on the iPad, you can press either one of those. Let's go to the download.
Oh, yes, of course.
And that's going to download it to my allow access. Yeah, preparing your project. Boom, save to camera roll. And then also the up arrow. Not now, thank you. And then up arrow, share options, images. Yes, preparing your project. And then you can go to copy link along there. And then it'll give you a link. And you're all ready to go. Let's just do that very quickly with Carl before we move on.
So here on the desktop, no problem. Just go over here to download, and that will get you a nice PNG. That's a file format that is perfect for sharing and for design. It's mostly a lossless file format, which means it's not going to get gritty and gross. The other option is when you download this, of course, it's going to send it wherever you need to be sent on your machine. But the other thing you can do is share. And if you go to share, just like Dom's just done, you can publish it to the web, and that's going to give you a link as well.
Cool.
All right, moving on to challenge number 2, back to the home page. We are going to be making a web page. And look right here, how handy is this?
Sorry, hang on. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
No, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Carry on.
Oh, okay. Right here on the home page, we've got in this first row, one of the options is create from scratch a web page. So let's go ahead and do that.
Right.
Now, as soon as you're ready, it's going to say, give us a title.
Yeah, let me get the iPad people there, because actually this is really similar on both. So we can follow on with Kyle very easily. We just need to get to the first place, which is this Spark page. You can see it right in the middle there. Click that one. You come up here, and all you have to do is press the big plus. And basically, we're exactly the same position as Carl now. Boom. Let's take it away.
Yeah, it is on the iPad. It's actually like a separate app, basically, but it is talking to Express. I mean, it's the same stuff, but Now, I think probably a good title for this would be Remembrance Day. What do you think,
Yeah.
Don?
I'll go with you on that one. I'll back you.
Now we've got, remember, all the information for it is right here. Okay. So what we're going to do is probably create 4 distinct sections in addition to a title page, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this is not having to really have any information other than telling us what we are doing here. REMEMBRANCE day. Now, I did that all in caps. You don't have to do that. You can make it, regular titling lettering where you have lowercase, uppercase. And then for a subtitle, we could put whatever you like. You could put your name if you want. This is your website that you're making. I'll just put World War I and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Now, this looks a little bit dull and not so great.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I do agree.
You're too polite. So I'm going to go to photo. And believe it or not, we could actually just search for Remembrance Day because, of course, this is something that people know.
Nice.
And look at all these results. Now we have some war-related images. We also have some lovely poppy images, and we just made some poppies. This one's quite nice. So I'll select the image, and then we're going to see if by selecting it, I can still read the type. So this is important. If you're selecting a photo, you want to make sure that whatever you select, your title is still legible. So you don't want something with a very bright light background if your type is white. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's loading in that picture. Now, if I scroll, I can start adding to it.
Yeah. Let me get there, and then we can.
Go
carry on. Right. So I've done the same stuff as Kyle. Put the text in. Blah blah blah. I can tap in the gray anywhere. Go to photo, and I'm looking for find free images, which is right at the top. And maybe I'll just search for Poppy, something like that. See what we get. Din, 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 din. Hey. And then we can. Oh, that one's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, I'm into that. And you can actually move the text around if you press and hold it, and you can put it, but I'll just keep mine in the center. That's fine. And then scroll to start writing your story. We get the options. Carl can give us a better look at that.
All righty then. It says my photo has gone missing. I can't tell you why. That's a mystery to me. I'm not personally a good friend with Sherlock Holmes, so I can't get in touch with him at the moment, but we're going to move on. And for this section, we're going to do a split layout. So with a split layout, you have text on one side or whatever you like to have on this side. And then here you can add an image. Now I still have the same search results over here. I'm not going to use this dog because I don't think that's appropriate. But I will use this image because it's quite nice.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then here I can add text. So if I just tap on the plus sign, you'll see photo, text, button, GIF, video, all kinds of nice options. I'm going to say text. And then I'm going to go over to our little handy website here, Origins of Remembrance Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll select that text, copy it. And remember, you can right click if you want and copy. You can also use the key command we mentioned earlier. And then I can here hit paste, and there it goes. Now for the Origins of Remembrance Day, I can take that type, select it, and when it's selected, I get different options here. I'm going to use this first one with the letter T that says bold, Origins of Remembrance Day. Very nice. And that just makes it have a nice like look of a title or a section. Mm-hmm. And I'll let that go throughout the entire website. So I have consistency, and this is important for your design. You'll notice my photos, by the way, are just having issues right now. I don't know what's going on, but it's okay because you understand how to do it. And Dom, do you want to go ahead and show us the layout?
Yeah, I can take that if you want.
No worries.
And give yourself a refresh or something. All right, cool. So I did exactly what Kyle was doing there. And yeah, it is a nice photo actually. And then so put just for my photo, I actually put you can replace them. I just put WW1, World War I. See what you get if you do that. You can try different things like Poppy, like WW1, things like that, Remembrance Day, whatever. But then on the right-hand side, when we're talking about the origins of Remembrance Day, we've got all sorts of things here that we can do. So first up, this title section, I want to make it stand out. I want to make sure that all of the titles of each section stand out. So I might just go to that, which is the quote function. You can go to header 2
Cool.
as well, but header 2 is quite nice as well. Actually, I'm not sure which one I like best. Maybe I'll keep it at that. And then, things that you can do. Well, I could go into this text and I could highlight something like the first. Let's go back in here. The first one, the first Day of Remembrance took place 1 year later on November the 11th, 1919. Come on. It is a little bit tricky sometimes on the iPad, I find. All right, let's grab that. Yes, managed to do it. And then I'll make that bold. So you can just play around with formatting and stuff like that. And then also you could press return and have 2 little sections there like that. That's fine. You can do that.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. And then what I did want to show is that if you select split layout again, what it will do here is it will reverse the image location or the side of the image. So on this one, it was on the left-hand side. Now it's on the right-hand side. So if I go back to my text here, this is all about the 2-minute silence. Let's grab that. Come on, you can do it. And then here we go. I'll copy that and go back to Express. Go here, press text. Now, because you can just paste it in and it will format it into, title and paragraph, which is quite cool. And now, golden rule, keep your titles the same. So if you went for header 2, go for header 2 again. If you went for quote, go for quote again, whatever you want. Now, on the right-hand side, image for this, Kyle, 2-minute silence.
So I think anything that shows quiet would be good. Or maybe remember or
I think that's right. I mean, the stillness and the quiet. I'm gonna go for something like candle.
Yeah, candle's good. Candle's very good for that kind of thing. That symbolizes any kind of remembrance and usually appreciation for people that have gone. Very nice.
Yeah. So we'll go in here, and then again, you can. Come on. I don't often use the iPad for a lot of text-based stuff, so sometimes I do find it a bit tricky. Let's go in here. Oh, come on, you can do it.
This is
take me ages.
We should be sending this recording to Apple.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, if you could do it better than me, I would love. Yeah, I definitely don't think you want to watch me trying to get hold of some text all the time. But anyway, you can. I do think that one thing you can do is separate this stuff out. If you break it up, it makes it a little bit easier to read, which I do think is good. But what I wanted to do here, for example, was, oh man, this is going to drive me insane. Hey, is make that bold. Also, maybe italic, because that's a quote from King George V. So that in perfect stillness, the thoughts of everyone may be concentrated on reverent remembrance of the glorious dead. There we go. Okay, right. If we march on here and scroll up again, it's exactly the same on the browser. I'm going to go to Glide Show. Right. Add a few background photos to your Glide Show. Now, one of the things that I always say here is if I go back to my 3rd and 4th section, which is the Poppy and Remembrance Day in other countries, one of the things that I kind of like to do is decide what pictures I want first. So in the Poppy section, what I might well want a Poppy, mightn't I? So I'll search for Poppy. And then in the second one, this is talking about Remembrance Day in other countries. So maybe I could do maybe I could just look for world or earth to sort of represent that idea of, well, this is a Remembrance Day that happens all around the world. So let's go to Poppy here. Let's see what we get. I mean, what would be nice would be a kind of single Poppy, I guess.
Maybe if you find a good one, you can remove the background.
Oh, yeah. Maybe not in Page, but that would be amazing, wouldn't it? That will be coming at Christmas for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next one was, I'll put World in, and probably Earth would probably be a better one.
Or international.
Yeah. I suppose there's I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe just I think that one because it's kind of got that idea of sort of hands.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we've got our different sections here. You can see it goes from section 2 into section 3, and you've got a text box here. Now, if I put my text for my poppy bit in there, right, copy it, go back in here, and then press text, and then paste it in, right? What you'll see is, oh, what a shame. What a shame that it's covering the poppy. I'm going to format the title, of course I am. But what you can do is you can select that and just drag it over to the side.
Ah, excellent.
That's pretty cool.
Now, Dom, can you do that on the web as well if you're using Express on a PC, on a desktop?
Yeah, just click with the trackpad or the mouse or whatever you're using. Exactly the same thing.
Very nice.
And then you could do stuff like here. Is it going to let me? Is it going to play ball today? Ah! Don't leave me alone. Oh man, I just wanted to. Oh, what? I just wanted to select in Flanders Field. That's all I wanted to do. Honestly, if you've got the patience to do it, then please do. And let me go and put the 4th section in. Now, one of the things that I might do here is might grab that section and put it in the middle, like the sort of the hands are actually holding the text.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Remembrance Day in other countries. Grab that one and then copy that and go back here and then text. And then because it's also in the center, what you might want to do here is select this header 2, and actually you might want to center that. Feel like that would be better to be centered like that. There you go. So, you know, play around with things like formatting. You can also put video links in there. You can also do things like let's go in here. You can put photos and buttons and videos and stuff like that. So say like, for example, I could go to Chrome, for example, and I could go search for something like Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day 2023. There we go.
We need something royalty free.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was thinking what I would do is I would go to, there's something from the royal family. Blimey. So let's go there and let's copy that web page. Copy. And then go back to our page. And you can put this in anywhere, you see. So Remembrance Day to raise money to help British people who serve their nation. Press the plus, go to button. There we go, go to button. And then button label, I could do like find out more. And then I could put my URL in. I'm going to center that, I think. Press done. And you got a lovely little button there. I might actually even
very nice.
Yeah, I might center that as well. You can put videos in. You can also put if I get Remembrance Day there, copy that. You can also put images in as well. So if you wanted to, you could.
Oh, I didn't know you could add images on these.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite
images
cool.
on top of images.
Yeah, well, actually, this is quite good, isn't it? Because it got some flags in there and stuff like that. That's quite cool. There you go. So that's sort of representing the American side of things as well. And you've still got the background image to sort of tie it all together. That's kind of nice. And then so it's the same, and it's the same on the browser as well. You do have the ability to see what you've got so far. I've got a little play button in the top right. You've also got what is it on the desktop again? In the top right, you've got.
Are you looking for
quick peek of that? Yeah, the play button in the top right you've got there. Yeah, it's the same as here. Basically, you've got a play button, so you can go in there, and then you can see what it's going to look like.
Very nice.
Big and bold. Look at that. Really nice. Got some formatting to keep it interesting. We've broken down the paragraphs so that it's a little bit easier to read. We've got the stuff in bold where it's a quote from somebody. That's King George V. We've got an appropriate image on the right-hand side to represent that sort of idea of silence. And then we go into our glide show. We've got our find out more button, which goes to an external web page. And then it glides. Look at that. Glides. Look at that. Glides. And then we've also got Remembrance Day in other countries, and we're representing for the United States there as well. So you can close that. And then whenever you're ready, it's the same. It's the same as it always is. You go to the share in the top right, and then you can create a public link. And then it's just going to do its thing, and it's going to put a a link on into your clipboard, which you can do whatever you like with.
Well, my photos are restored again. I'm not sure what happened.
Cool.
It just decided it didn't
Yeah,
like them. I was going to show one thing that if everybody wants to try, if they want to try the caption option.
Nice. Yes, you did that yesterday. It was really nice. Do that.
Well, yeah, let's give it a try again. I'm going to do photo, and I'm just going to search for Poppy. And we have these options. Now, I'm looking for one that's just on a white background. See this right here?
Yeah,
and this one
nice.
too. If I select this,
Yeah, that's
I
really
can then
nice.
have it sort of isolated on the page. And anytime you put a photo in, you have an option here that presents itself to add a caption.
Mm.
So if I decide to add a caption, I just select the photo, click off of it here. Whoops, it keeps wanting to like give me other things to do.
Yeah.
Photo.
Yeah,
It was there a moment ago.
it was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, we saw
Maybe,
it.
maybe delete it and then just find it again.
Sure. I'm not sure what happened there. That's an interesting.
Yeah, that is bizarre, isn't it?
I don't know why it would give me the option and then tell me, no, never mind. You don't want that.
Yeah, take it away. Yeah.
We'll put it in there again.
Let's see if you, yeah.
And
oh, it was just there, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, but there is that.
There it is.
Do you know what?
There it is.
Yeah.
Add a caption. Now here, what I can do is I can use for the Poppy here. Just grab all that.
Yeah.
And copy that. And then just paste it into my caption.
Yeah, nice.
It's another way to present stuff. If you want to do this, you can do this.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think it's a really innovative way of doing it.
And there we go. I made that italicized. So that also just gives you a different layout option. So, if most of your layout has the same vibe, you can break it up with something centered like this, a little bit of text. And then in the next one, I could do a photo grid, with some text. We didn't really mention that too much.
Yeah, it's very easy to play around with here, isn't it?
W1, I really like that. That was nice. You said there were some good ones there. I like this. That's nice. Yeah. Do that.
Yeah.
Got a little photo grid going. Save that. And you can add a caption to that as well. And then finally, I can finish out with a glide show like you did, maybe, or maybe just a split layout.
That's really nice, that gallery. Just a little 3-image one, keeping it all on one line. I think it looks really classy.
Cool. Great. Well, easy to do. Finish out with a glide show. And so now if I were going to share mine, we just come up here to share, and publish to web will create a link. So if I say publish to web, I can give it a nice title, Remembrance Day 2023.
Yeah.
And create link. And when it says publish a project, what I'm going to wind up with is a link that I can share with anybody, whether I want to post it online or send it in an email or whatever. And then people can see this nice little website that I built in just a matter of minutes. And Dom, same for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I tell you one thing that I will show here is you can also press the plus, go to video, and I got a link from YouTube, and this is all about Armistice Day. So you can put that in, and then, when you present that page, you will have an embedded video, which you can play directly in there. You don't even have to leave the page, which is nice. But I tell you one thing that will affect is if you put that in after you published, you have to go back and publish again, because it says there, update public link. And that will mean that the video then gets pushed onto that public page. So that's something to remember.
That's a pro tip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Well, I think that is that's it. We're done and dusted.
Yeah, I think that's a great 2-part challenge. You've got some creative art making up front, but with a purpose. And then you've got some information that you can share. And it's also educational, and a great 2-parter. I give us both an A+, Dom.
You're too generous. You're way too generous. But hey, I'll take it. That's the first A+ I've ever got. Well, there you go. It was nice to have you all here. I hope you're going to finish those challenges. Don't forget to get the swag, pester your teachers mercilessly, and also remember that 2-minute silence. I hope you respect that and you remember that wherever you are. So thank you very much for joining us. And what is it next week, Kyle?
Next week. Oh,
you know
this
it.
is a big one. Next week's a big one. It's anti-bullying, and it's very important.
Exactly. So get on that. I'll send out an email to all your teachers about the swag. And also don't forget to book on next week's anti-bullying week. Thank you very much as also, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao.